In just 2 days, the action heats up in Riyadh for the Royal Rumble as we kickstart the road to WrestleMania. Welcome to Main Event.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Stone Mountain, Georgia, weighing in at 240 pounds, Apollo Crews!
And Blake, I don't know if I've ever seen this sort of look in this man's eyes. You saw him come through the curtain, you saw him walk down the aisle, and there was just something different coming out of his eyes. It wasn't that smile, it wasn't that excitement, it was someone who seems to be more determined than ever as we're approaching the road to WrestleMania.
We are getting the action started here on YouTube with a former Intercontinental and United States champion. He's officially back healthy, and he is ready for that road to WrestleMania.
Hey, Kit, are you there?
And his opponent from Buckinghamshire, England, weighing in at 210 pounds, Kit Wilson!
As I am Blake Howard, joined by the voice of NXT.
And you
Vic
are
Joseph,
toxic.
the dancing fool, Vic Joseph over here. I wish you could all see what Vic's doing right now. Of course, Kit Wilson is in. You can feel it in the air tonight here on YouTube.
Oh, you certainly can. Look at this man. He is looking to make the world a better place. You know who's trying to do that? One man, you're looking at him, and his name is Kit Wilson.
Well, he's certainly on a quest to end toxic masculinity. The antidote in motion returns to Main Event here this evening.
The master of the thrust. Look at those hips swivel.
Listen, even Apollo likes what he sees. Certainly one of the hottest songs in the WWE right now, as the WWE Universe very excited for what they see here tonight, getting the action started this week here on Main Event. And Vic, we are just hours away.
He's trying to take his pearls off.
Wilson clutching his pearls right here, but nonetheless, getting the action started indeed as Apollo Crews, Kit Wilson, Vic. Listen, it's that time of the year. We're just 48 hours from the Royal Rumble.
We certainly are, and look, everyone's trying to make a statement. Everyone's trying to build up momentum. We sit here and we go, is Apollo in it? Is Kit in it? We don't know. Some names have been mentioned. Some people have declared. There was a huge name that was announced this past Monday on Raw, but Apollo Crews would love to get an opportunity, in the same can be said for his opponent, that being Kit Wilson.
And of course, we saw Apollo return to Main Event just a couple of weeks back in a big showing.
Oh!
As Apollo looking very intense right here.
I've known Apollo Crews for a very long time. I've called his matches here on Main Event, on Monday Night Raw, on NXT. Apollo Crews would look for a drop kick. He would look to do something fancy. Instead, he just tried to run through the opposition. And I don't think Apollo fits the bill for what Wilson is really opposing. I'm not Kit, but I don't see someone who's toxic in Apollo Crews.
Well, Vic, you were talking about at the top, Apollo with a bit of a different look in his eye here, as Kit skins the cat right back in and looks to stay on the attack. Picture perfect drop kick right there by Kit Wilson.
Listen to the WWE Universe for Kit Wilson. And you know, we've never asked Kit how he's feeling. You know, how is he? In a recent interview, he said he felt like he was 5 years old going to school for the first time when he had his first singles match. You laughed at him. The universe laughed at him. I apologized to him because I thought the same thing you did, as right now the blood rushing to his head.
Look at the power right here of Apollo Crews. Apollo looked very crisp at his return a couple of weeks back. He's been sharp in his action down in AAA, Vic.
Hey.
How about this hip swivel? Apollo looking pretty good in his own right.
Well, that's okay.
Apollo Crews acknowledging it, and there's that drop kick from Apollo.
Now that Kit might think is toxic.
That certainly is, but look, I really like both these guys. I give a lot for Kit having overcome the adversity of transitioning into a single star. Apollo Crews, someone who has overcome many hurdles throughout his career, has had a WrestleMania moment, as you mentioned, has won championships here in the WWE.
Secured the Intercontinental Championship back at WrestleMania 37. That was a big career highlight. Could certainly use that as motivation as we head back on the road to WrestleMania.
Well, Kit's using some motivation right now, and I, for one, see a lot of members of the WWE Universe starting to want to be in Kit's corner.
As Kit Wilson in control right now, but Vic, you want to talk about motivating. Kit's had quite the issues with SmackDown newcomer Matt Cardona.
He certainly has, and look, I've seen what Matt has posted on social media.
He called him a peg warmer.
I understand what everything's been said, but look, everyone's trying to gain any sort of advantage as we move towards the Royal Rumble. Is right here, look at this. Look at this offense. That's a rude awakening for Apollo Crews.
Drops Apollo right there in the center of the ring. Hooks the outside leg, only gets one.
I finally believe, though, that Kit Wilson is starting to find his footing, finding out who he is, finding his voice, so to speak. Look at NXT. Ask his opponents such as Apollo. Apollo didn't know who he was when he first signed to the WWE, maybe even 5-6 years in. Maybe it was when he won his first championship. I think if you asked Apollo Crews, he's a different man than he was when he arrived, but he's still trying to find himself as a nice Des press.
And look at Kit Wilson unloading right here. A new intensity here for Kit Wilson. And you almost wonder, Vic, does that toxic masculinity mission have an end game?
I think the end game is probably getting rid of it. Will that ever happen? I don't necessarily know, but he's not going to stop Kit Wilson from trying.
Well, one thing he's certainly looking to try is to have his hand in the first ever appearance for Kit in the Royal Rumble this weekend.
Can you imagine?
The entrance.
Could you imagine the views that would get on social media?
As Kit in control right here. Talk about Royal Rumbles. Apollo Crews in 3 straight Royal Rumbles, but I think it's been quite some time since Apollo's had that kind of opportunity.
I think Apollo Crews is searching for that, right? We talk about those hiccups, so to speak. He knows how important this match is. And for Kit Wilson, he's in there with someone who's a former champion, someone who is decorated in the WWE. This would be a big singles victory for Kit in its own right. This is a huge way to kick off main event 48 hours before the Royal Rumble.
And of course, if both of these superstars were in the Royal Rumble, they'd both be able to defy those odds. But talking about defying the odds, how about Sami Zayn one more time against Drew McIntyre for the Undisputed title this week?
Well, he beat the odds on SmackDown, right? This past Friday, you know, outlasting Randy Orton, Damian Priest, Trick Williams become the #1 contender.
Big time play.
Could he have that moment? We all know how important that World Championship title is to put in his, what would you call it, trophy case. He's done the WrestleMania main events. This is something he's worked his whole life for. And wow, what a moment that would be to officially become the WWE champion. But he's taken on someone who is also very well documented how passionate he is about being champion.
What a counter there by Apollo Crews, as Apollo certainly wants to get back in a winning position. Talk about a former United States champion. Carmelo Hayes certainly holding down those open challenges right now, and Apollo would love to get back in that type of position. But look at Apollo pick up the intensity.
And I mentioned it during Apollo's entrance. Not flashy, switching it up a little bit, and I think maybe he's starting to realize he has to do something different because he is taking his opponent to the woodshed.
Power slam, hooks the leg right in the center of the ring. And you can see that frustration coming out here. Apollo wanting more right now, as he's certainly looking to seize the moment right here. And Kit,
nice counter,
able to flip back out. Look at Wilson using that momentum. Takes down Apollo with a clothesline. And now the WWE Universe starting to rally a bit here, Vic.
Oh! Well, Kit was getting crafty. Apollo trying to use that strength one more time.
We're going to shut that right down as Apollo Crews. Look at the power and strength here. The raw power. Up and over goes Kit Wilson.
Say that again.
As Apollo Crews.
Oh, no.
Sent right into that middle turnbuckle now, Kit.
And I think he hit more of the rope, which might have done more damage than the turnbuckle. Crews is hurt. Kit trying to capitalize.
Here we go. Oh! Just dropping Crews face first. And now Kit Wilson going up top. Vic, we've seen him fly before.
This could be his moment. What a statement victory this would be.
As Wilson building the momentum. He's up. Kit Wilson drives down the elbow. And Wilson makes a toxic statement.
here is your winner, Kid Wilson!
Kid's Corner continues to grow.
Getting the Rumble party started 2 days early.
Don't jump on the bandwagon now. I remember what you said the first time you saw him.
An impressive victory